Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Gone, and today I have a very different video than I normally do, but it still retains to books, and this is a book news video. Obviously, I cannot compete with the incomparable Daniel Green and his fantasy news videos that he does. He does an excellent job with those. If you want fantasy sci-fi news for books and book-related stuff, he's the best for that. But I am going to be doing some relating to media tie-in fiction regarding Star Wars and Star Trek. The two types of books, tie-ins particularly, which I think don't get a lot of love on YouTube and I think should get a lot of love. And so I have several news stories to bring you and an update for the channel. And so stick around to the end for the update on the channel. But without further ado, let me dive into the first piece of news. And the first piece of news, this came out a few weeks ago, is that Beth Revis will be writing an adult Star Wars novel for Lucasfilm and Del Rey titled The Princess and the Scoundrel, which is going to be about the wedding of Han and Leia after the events of Return of the Jedi. And now, if you are steeped in Star Wars literature, you will know that there is already a book about... It's not necessarily about the wedding of them, but it's about the courtship of them, which is called, ironically, The Courtship of Princess Leia by Dave Wolverton, who sadly passed recently. And that is a very controversial book. Around the time that this piece of news dropped, there were a lot of people who were angry about it, saying, we already have that story. And it's quite ironic because the book has a very low rating on Goodreads. I am a huge Dave Wolverton fan. I loved his books that he did, the Rune Lords that he did under the pen name David Farland, and I've enjoyed some of his sci-fi projects. However, I felt that his novel, The Courtship of Princess Leia, was a weaker Star Wars book. I didn't think it was that great, and in fact, I believe that the characters made decisions in that book that were entirely out of character for them, particularly regarding the two leads, Han and Leia. And so, to me, I was already not too attached to The Courtship of Princess Leia, and at the same time, I have already resigned myself to the fact that the canon is going to break continuity with the ideas established in Legends and the expanded universe. So the existence of this book did not bother me in that sense of the term. And Beth Revis did write a Star Wars novel I quite enjoyed, which was Rebel Rising. I think it is one of the best YA books to come out of the canon. And so I think she has an interesting style that will be good for Star Wars. And the book has already promised many tie-ins to other Star Wars projects, including the Galactic Star Cruiser, which I'm interested in. And so I'm really excited about this book. It comes out in August, and I will, of course, be reading it and reviewing it for the channel. But that is the first piece of news, book-related, I have. The next piece of book news I have is for the next wave of High Republic novels for Star Wars. And I'm going to specifically focus on the adult novel, because the adult novels are the ones that mean the most to me, and also it's in keeping with my monthly thing I'm going with here. And that is Star Wars The High Republic Convergence, which is the new novel by Zoraida Cordova. Zoraida Cordova also wrote a YA Star Wars novel titled A Crash of Fate, which I enjoyed, and it's a romance, which is weird, but Zoraida Cordova certainly has the potential to be a good Star Wars author, and this will allow her to delve into the adult genre, which is a bit more, has more adult themes, it has more action, it has better plotting generally than the YA books do, so it gives her a chance to step up in ranks for Star Wars. And I've enjoyed all the adult novels for the High Republic, and most of the middle grades, but all the adult novels, and so I'm really interested in seeing if Phase 2, which goes back in time, will deliver like Phase 1 did. And so that comes out in October, and I'm very excited to read that book. The next book I will be discussing is one that's so near and dear to my heart. It is a new book by my favorite media tie-in fiction author, John Jackson Miller. He is writing a new hardcover novel for Gallery Books for their Star Trek line, and it is the first in the Strange New Worlds line. The book is called The High Country. This book is going to be about the characters of Pike and Una and Spock, and is going to be part of the whole Strange New Worlds line of books and the new show, of course, that's coming out. And I'm really excited for this one because I read John Jackson Miller's other Star Trek novels, and they've all been fantastic. Every single novel that he has turned in has been great, but I will pay attention to a few of them first. He recently wrote, in 2019, The Enterprise War, which is about the same characters. It is about the Enterprise during the events of Discovery, and while I am not at all a fan of Star Trek Discovery, I do not like Star Trek Discovery at all, I really like his novels in Star Trek Discovery, and The Enterprise War is a fantastic addition. And you also have the book Die Standing, which he wrote back in 2020, and this book won the Scribe Award, which is very impressive. It was his second win. And this book was also set in Discovery and just had a magnificent plot, and I think was better than Enterprise War. And so he had a good run of novels. But most recently, he had a new book in the Picard series, which I also didn't really care for. I didn't hate as much as Discovery, but I just didn't care for Picard as a whole. But his Picard novel, I was surprised at the deeper themes he was able to bring in this book. And this was a hardcover, this was his first hardcover in several years, since Kenobi, since A New Dawn, which was 2014. So this is his first hardcover in like 7 years. So it's good to see him back in the hardcover status. And this book, luckily, will also be in hardcover, and it is coming out in November 8th to be specific, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to read this book. I think that the insiders regarding Star Trek books and publishing have figured that this book was coming. A few people that I know basically had speculated, he's going to be writing a Strange New Worlds novel. But we didn't have anything concrete until now, which is very exciting. And so I am so excited. That's my number one most anticipated of these books that we're going to talk about. But I have one more book that has been announced recently, and that is David Mack's Harm's Way, which is going to be the original series novel for Star Trek. It is going to feature not only the original series, but also Vanguard. Vanguard is the long series of books, 8 books by David Mack, Dayton Ward, and Kevin Delmar. And those books all have to do with the Vanguard station and the people around it in the Taurus Reach. And it's a very unique concept where even though characters and events in ships like the Enterprise show up throughout the books, it is not about the main characters, the screen characters. It's about the off-screen characters in this series. And I think it was a great idea when it came out. There's been tons of books for it. They also had 4 spin-off books that came out a few years ago, and now we're getting this book, which is like an amalgamation of the two. And I am very excited, one, because I think David Mack writes excellent action. His books have always delivered. And also I'm excited because Star Trek needs to get back into the publishing. My big issue this year is that there have been so few Star Trek. This is why you shouldn't do anything live. There have been so few Star Trek books published in the year 2022. We had an audio original book, which was like an audio drama, which came out, which I wasn't able to read because it was on audio only, and I only read physical books. And so then we have in September the new Picard novel for featuring Raffi by Una McCormick. And other than that, we've had nothing. We've known nothing about what's coming out. And 2021 was a banner year for Star Trek. They had like 9 novels, I think, come out. And it was wonderful getting to see all the different areas represented, for everything from The Next Generation to DS9 to the crossover series to the original series. There were so many books that came out. and we just haven't had any recently. So it's good to see movement in Star Trek. And the final piece that I'll talk about now is an update for the channel. And I wanted to let you know that I've had several authors reach out recently. One of them I already provided a review for. That was David Vissers. Another author reached out to me by the name of Thomas Godfrey, I should say, and he told me he wanted to send me his book, and it arrived. It is called All Hail the Carrion King. I will be reading this sometime in the summer. I don't know when, but sometime in the summer. And I was very impressed by the blurb I read about this book. It is much more dark fantasy than I'm used to, but I am very interested in reading it, and I want to thank Mr. Godfrey for sending me his book. And so you can look forward to a review for that sometime later this summer. But that is all the news and updates I have in this video. This is a very different kind of video than I normally do, but I thought it was one that was necessary, and I apologize for all the technical difficulties I had. I should plan these videos out more. Anyway, please like and subscribe. I have many Star Wars, Star Trek, and other book videos on this channel, and many more coming in the pipeline. And so until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.